The stream is live. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Mock. Hi. Okay. You guys, you in danger with your personal information being shared with all the criminals out there and whatnot. So
what a way to start the show.
Yeah. That's what we do. So make sure that you stop data brokers from stealing and exposing all of your personal information. You can visit Aura. It's aura.com/chicks. Get a free trial, 14-day free trial, and see how much of your information is being sold. A lot of mine was being sold. I had no idea. I had like 4 instances they came back with. You should totally check this out. It's aura.com/chicks. Do that. You should totally do that. Also, you should visit our Facebook insiders and or locals pages and become an insider. And or local
supporter.
So, yeah, supporter, local supporter. Do that because those are your people. You should be doing that, hanging out with those people. Seriously, there's some extra like content out there. And really, it's not even about us anymore.
It's about community.
It's about the community and those people because they've taken on lives of their own. Fantastic people out there. You will not be sorry for joining one of those groups or both of those groups. So you should do that and check that out.
But it's true that there is extra content out there. Like I posted my kids' prom pictures. Mm-hmm. There's always like there's things. And the next time I hit South Carolina, there's going to be new house pictures that I'll share. So we always try to give those two groups some extra bonus content things. So check those out.
Truth.
I already have thank yous to dole out today. One on Venmo from Kathleen Barbie, who said, asking for prayers for our beloved Luna dog. Her surgery to remove a possibly cancerous mass and her spleen is this morning. So prayers going out for Luna dog. Luna. Oh my gosh.
Hey, can you change my name? My name is weird. It should be the Honorable.
Oh.
I think we had that for another.
Yeah. What the heck?
Because we were in StreamYard with somebody of importance. Who was it?
Yes, that's right. We were with Sean Spicer.
Sean Spicer. Yeah, sorry.
We were trying to be professional, like as much as we can
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I didn't want to go in as the Honorable Daisy with Sean Spicer. He'd be like,
you actually could have. He would have thought that was funny, actually.
Really? You think?
I think he would. Yeah. He's down to clown, as they say.
Jokes. Yeah.
Also, thanks to Curio23, who says, Dad Joke Wednesday, imagine a female pirate got a replacement boob. That'd suck, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
I see what you did there.
Wouldn't it?
Okay. So
I love that. And then also Curio23 said, what do you call a Richards selfie? It's a dick pic.
I get it. I totally
get it.
Get it.
That one wasn't quite as good, but still we give you all the points for those dad jokes. And we will have our own Dad Joke Wednesday because Daisy found some good ones. So we will be sharing those in a bit.
Found a few.
Quick reminder, just for those folks who are looking for size 3X in our Camp Tono t-shirts, which if you have not seen them yet, this is what it looks like. We will hear back today about whether that size will be restocked. I'm not sure if it will be. We're waiting to hear back. But in the meantime, current sizes available are small through 2X. And then hopefully there will be some more 3Xs. You can get these at GratefulAmericanApparel.com. And don't forget that 100% of the profits go to supporting veterans and their families. So you can feel awfully, awfully good about getting yourself a Camp Tono t-shirt for 2024, whether or not you're coming. We hope you are. But if you're not, it's still a great t-shirt. So just wanted to make sure everybody saw that. GratefulAmericanApparel.com is how you can get your hands on one of those. All right. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight into the news because I feel like today could potentially be another long show. Lots and lots and lots of stuff going on. We'll kick it off with all of the Trump trial happenings. The defense started to cross-examine Michael Cohen yesterday, and so there was a lot of hullabaloo around that. I've heard mixed reviews. Like I heard my husband came home and he was like, I heard that cross-examination did not go well for Michael Cohen. And then I heard other people going, that was awesome. Like
it was elegant.
It was elegant, and the defense has nothing, and like Michael Cohen was a gold star. So I didn't, we're not in the courtroom, we don't know, and so we rely on analysis from those who were present, and that's why we're going to share some of that analysis with you. Before that got started, though, Trump had an entourage with him yesterday. He had Vivek, he had Mike Johnson, he had Byron Donalds, he had all his friends with him, and they were all dressed alike. And I thought that was a little weird, you guys. Like, they all had identical suits and ties on, and it was just like, it was a little weird. I don't know if
they were like, they got together and they're like, what are you going to wear today? What are you going to wear? What are you wearing?
That's weird, right? It's a little bit weird.
For dudes, it's a little weird. But I mean,
yeah.
Again, what else do they wear? I mean, they wear kind of the same thing. They
all wore the same tie.
Yeah, like
that's the one differentiator, right?
I didn't notice what they wear. Is it a red power tie? Is that what they're wearing?
Yeah, it's a red power tie with like a dark, like a gray blue suit.
Mm-hmm. That's sort of like the Republican thing. I feel like that's kind of the
I just thought that was
the
super
uniform.
Odd.
Yeah.
But whatever. We'll let Vivek came out. I think this was before the cross-examination, but like after the prosecution was done wrapping up their questioning of Michael Cohen. Here is Vivek with a very simple question that has yet to be addressed.
Anybody here in the press? Anybody at home? Anybody in MSNBC or the media afterwards to clearly state what exactly is the crime that Donald Trump committed? Oh, wait. We have not heard a good answer to that question. It has been vague until today. You heard Michael Cohen's testimony, after which I would say it is less clear than ever what that crime actually was. They'll say falsifying business records. Well, let's look at who did we learn falsified business records today? Yet, what, hour, 2 hours, felt like it could have been 7 hours of Michael Cohen talking about how he falsified business records. Okay, so you have a guy who has been a perjurer in the past that is now saying he falsified business records. What is the crime that Donald Trump committed? Now, it appears to be what they might allege is some sort of bookkeeping error or whatever. The real bookkeeping that we need accounting of is Judge Merchan's own family member collecting millions of dollars as a Democratic operative, using the existence of this trial as a fundraising ploy for Democrats. This is unconscionable. Imagine if the same shoe fit the other foot.
Yeah, I mean, Listen, I absolutely love this. I think this is fantastic. But about 40 scabillion other people have been asking this question. It's just that they don't have the stature of Vivek. Like, there are a lot of people. You know what I mean? We've been asking this in 60 scabillion different ways. It's just that, you know what I mean? But he had the platform to get it out there. So I'm glad.
And the tie.
And the power tie. I'm glad that he did. I'm super delighted about it. But it's not like this question has not been asked a million times.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is the question, like, will a jury be convinced that there has actually been some sort of crime committed here? Mm-hmm. Because so far, it doesn't seem like anybody has been able to prove that there has been. So we'll see. The juries are very temperamental, as we all know. And so it is completely resting in the hands of 12 people that are complete strangers, and we don't know anything about them other than that they're from Manhattan, which does not bode well for Trump. So we'll just have to see. This is crazy. Everything is crazy. The world is crazy. And that is why, if you are thinking about approaching retirement, or even if it's far off, but you just want to make sure that you're headed in the right direction, why not get yourself a free risk review from our good friend and sponsor of the show, and an unapologetic conservative, Zach Abraham with Bulwark Capital Management. You can sit down with Zach for free over the phone. You can talk to him about what you've got going on right now, where you'd like to be for retirement, and he can help you get from point A to point B and manage risk. So if you're a risk-averse person like I am, he is your guy. And you only get one retirement. So there's no obligation. There's no reason that you shouldn't talk to him. It's free. You can schedule your free risk review right now at knowyourriskradio.com. That's knowyourriskradio.com. Oh my gosh, you guys. Michael Steller, thank you so much. Michael says, good morning, chicks. My new fur baby, Finnegan, is tiring me out. But here's the good news. I've lost 4 pounds in a week with Finnegan going on walks. His love is endless.
Oh,
what kind of dog is that? Or is I'm assuming it's a dog. He didn't say dog specifically, but I am assuming it's a dog.
That's
I would like
sweet.
to know the breed. Jenny Spencer, thank you so much. Jenny says, long time watcher, first time super chat. LOL. Please wish my son Cole a happy 10th birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Cole!
birthday. Double digits.
Double digits. That's a big deal. Oh my gosh, Cole, little 10-year-old Cole. Hopefully he's not watching because
I
we
know, right?
tend to be
We're a little inappropriate.
Curio23 says would have been better with a Rush L tie set, a Rush Limbaugh tie set. That was some strange, like,
I miss
twinning
him.
going on.
He was
Yeah,
the goat.
same. KJP unwittingly, because of who she is as a person, she's a complete moron. She accidentally admitted in front of the world yesterday that this Trump Stormy Daniels trial is all about the election. Now, she's too dumb to know that she did that, of course, but I don't know how else you take this.
Appropriate for Speaker Johnson to show up at the trial of the former president today?
So look, I can't speak to, don't want to comment, obviously, as this is related to 2024 elections, and I can't speak to the speaker's schedule. That is something for him to decide on.
Oh, really?
It's related to the 2024 election. That's really weird. Isn't that weird?
How does she explain that one?
She's gonna say, I've been clear, and then she won't be clear about it. She's not gonna explain it.
I mean, I feel like that calls for a little bit of pushback. Like,
Yeah.
what about Mike Johnson's appearance at this trial has anything to do with 2024?
But did you notice that nobody pushed back? Did you notice? Nobody.
Yeah. Maybe everybody was just too stunned to hear her say the thing out loud.
Well, we all know it's true.
Yeah.
It was just like she basically just said what we all already knew.
Anyway, that happened. And then I know everybody here, including us, loves Senator Kennedy. And sometimes he just puts things in a way that no one else does, like this.
Well, this trial, I think, says more about our politics than it does about our alleged crime. Mr. Bragg, I don't know him either. My observation is that if you want to hide something from him, you put it in a law book. He is he's bringing a felony criminal trial, but he hasn't proved a felony.
The fact that this is even allowed to happen is it's preposterous, right? Like, we're just watching this and going, what a joke.
It really is. I mean,
it's embarrassing.
What are we doing?
Yeah, it's super embarrassing to you think there'd be a lot of lawyers and just anybody that's connected to the legal field would be embarrassed by this.
I mean, a lot of lawyers are you hear some attorneys going out and going, this is a joke.
Yeah.
This is all just such a waste of time.
Yeah.
But then there's the hopeful Trump haters that are like, go, go, go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is. Michael Steller, thank you. Michael says that his dog is a half black lab, half golden, all the long hair of a golden, but all black.
Oh, I bet he's beautiful.
I love him.
Oh my God.
I love him already.
Dogs.
Dogs are so great. Stormy, remember how she has like this new documentary, or maybe it's not even new at this point. It's probably been out a while. I don't know where to watch it or how to watch it, nor will I be watching it, but it is out there and available for consumption.
And the title is I'm a Skanky Fainting Goat. That's the title of it. Look for it on Netflix, you guys.
I'm not sure that that's the title,
That's not the title?
but it should be the title.
All right.
But anyway, leave it to Erin Burnett, that absolute useless idiot on CNN, who, as you may remember, recently interviewed Joe Biden, because of course Joe Biden would interview with her. Leave it to Erin to have on Stormy Daniels' husband to humanize Stormy Daniels. Because CNN, I know.
She's married?
Yeah, Stormy Daniels is married.
I was today years old when I found out that she was married. Somebody married her.
I think he might be a fellow porn actor, perhaps.
Oh
I mean, his name
gosh.
is Barrett Blade.
No, it is not.
I
You're
feel like
joking.
that. I'm not joking.
No way. Oh
I'm not joking.
Okay, Barrett Blade married Stormy Daniels. You guys, that's what happened. Okay,
I mean, it's true.
All
it's
right.
true.
It's like seriously, it's like a scene out of Boogie Nights. That's what we're listening to right now.
And so they show like a tiny clip of the documentary. And then Erin is like, I mean, for those people who just are seeing her in that light, it's a whole new Stormy Daniels. What can you tell us about your lovely wife that we may not know about her? I mean, it's just vile. And you wouldn't believe me unless you saw it for yourself. So here's an example.
Here we go.
Today?
What have we done?
Nothing. I mean, but when you play that, it just if people didn't know who she was, right?
Oh
they didn't know her as Stormy Daniels. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
normal side of life that most people know, but certainly they haven't seen her in that context before. So in this context, when you talk about people not knowing her, what do you want people to really know about who she is, and what the biggest misperception is out there that people still have of her?
I mean, I want people to know that she's a brilliant mother. She's a great partner. She's very talented. She's a brilliant writer, director.
Very talented.
The list goes on and on. What people don't know, like, I think everyone thinks this is that like Democrats are funding this whole thing or some crazy stuff like that. But, like she's doing all of this because she's doing what she feels is right for this country and for the people in this country and for the future of her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
If Trump is found not guilty, I think there's either way, I don't think it gets better for her. I think if it's not guilty, we got to decide what to do. Good chance we'll probably vacate this country. If he is found guilty, that she's still gonna have to deal with all the hate that feel like she's the reason that he's guilty from all of his followers. So I don't see it as a win situation either way. I know that we would like to get on with our lives. I know that she wants to move past this. We just want to do what I guess you would say normal people get to do in some aspects. But I don't know if that ever will be, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, some of the things that she has to go through that people don't realize.
Normal people don't bang other people on screen. I don't. Do you do that? I don't do that.
There's nothing normal about this couple. Nothing.
I was gonna say, that's not normal?
No, that's not normal.
His name is
It's Barrett Blade.
It's like you can see the lights.
I know, right?
Dirk Diggler. I cannot with this. These people are caricatures of people, is what
they really are. It's
They're
so
not
absurd.
They're not real people. I don't. It's like, what is even happening? Okay.
Brandy Phillips, Brandy on Venmo, thank you. She says, Dad Joke Wednesday, and don't even bother reading. If I saw this on my Pillow Toks, what's another name for? Yeah, we did this on. This was one of our Pillow Toks. What's another name for coming inside of a woman loading the dishwasher? We did show that the other day. It's a good joke. Yeah, it's naughty. Cole, don't watch the show today.
Yes,
we're telling naughty jokes. Cole,
yes.
Happy birthday. Get off of our show. Denise Alberton, thank you so much. Denise says, celebrating the signing of a 3-year lease this morning to open my new wellness spa in Warrenton, Missouri. The American dream is still alive, y'all. That's what Denise says. That's
good
awesome.
For you. That's awesome.
And Andrea Cleaver, thank you. Andrea says, Mock, driving myself crazy singing Fareed Zachariah,
Rock the Casbah.
She says, husband thinks I'm bonkers. Tell me it doesn't fit that song perfectly.
It totally does. Totally.
It's perfect. Mm-hmm. Like a name. There's no name that could be more perfect for that. There just isn't. It just works perfectly. It just really does.
I'm sure the Clash is really excited about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what else works perfectly? That is fresh pressed olive oil on your salads as a dip for your bread. and when you cook. And if you have not experienced the difference between the oil that you get from chicksloveoliveoil.com and the oil that you just get off your supermarket shelves, I am telling you, it is a world of difference. Your cooking is going to be taken up like 70 billion notches just because you're using the right oil. And you can try a free full-size bottle of olive oil just like this. And these come from farms across the world that are chosen specifically by the olive oil hunter, self-described himself, TJ Robinson. He goes hunting for olive oil. He goes hunting for olives. He finds the very best ones, the very freshest oil, and you get these in your club membership. So you get them routinely. You never run out, and you can join the club by just paying $1, and then you get this bottle of oil for free when you go to chicksloveoliveoil.com. And if a club isn't for you, that's okay. You still get to have your free olive oil bottle, and that's $1 for shipping. So check it out, chicksloveoliveoil.com. All right, let's hear from some legal minds. We have the legal editor from Fox who is weighing in on how she thought cross-examination went, how the whole Michael Cohen testimony went. Here she is to talk about that from last night.
Interesting. Now, you don't ever make predictions, do you? Because you've been in there almost every day. Have you been there every single day?
I've been there almost every day.
So if anybody was going to make a prediction about how this was going to shake out, it would be you. And you're going to do that right now. You're not going to do it.
You know, this is what I would say. There are 2 lawyers on this jury. I don't see how these lawyers can sit there and not ask themselves, what is the crime exactly? Why are we here? Elements haven't been established. You know, dirty does not equal illegal. As much as the prosecution would like to conflate that in the jurors' minds, those lawyers know better. So I'm wondering if, you know, we'll end up with a hung jury, but we'll see. It's New York. It's New York. It's New York.
Hung jury, perhaps?
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing. Who's sick of this crap? Raise your hand. I'm serious. Like,
so tiresome.
It really is. It is so tiresome. Like, I went to a Republican, like a local Republican meeting here in Waco last night. And like, it trickles down even to like one of the guys that got up and talked about how back in 2020, Trump had sent like a bunch of signs to the local chapters because
yard signs.
Yard signs. Because, you know, the RNC is not going to do it because the RNC doesn't do crap for local people. But Trump himself, as a human being, as a man, he sent a bunch of Trump signs to local chapters like McLennan County and Waco. And he's like, here's a bunch of my Trump signs. He can't do that now because he's stuck in a courtroom.
Yeah.
So they mentioned that at the meeting last night. And I'm thinking, this is the thing. He's stuck. They're doing this on purpose with purpose because they want him stuck. And listen, I mean, I don't think it's not going to help. I think it emboldens him. I think all of this emboldens him. I think I'm so sick of this crap. I'm so sick of it. I think I'm not the only one that is sick of it. I think a lot of people, I take it personally. Like, it's starting to grate on my nerves, all of it. And I'm rejecting it. Every time I see stuff like this on TV, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, I'm disgusted by it. I'm disgusted by all of it.
Well, I hope that it is coming mercifully to an end. But I think Michael Cohen is the last witness, and then it's time for deliberations. Fred said Stormy would like a hung jury.
Yeah, she would. She totally would.
Now, interestingly, Laura Ingraham was in the courtroom yesterday, and so she witnessed things firsthand and wanted to report back on what she made of the whole thing. And she was trying to gauge, and she is not a body language expert, but she wanted to gauge what did the jury's body language look like, what was her read on the whole thing. It was interesting to listen to, even though that is not her expertise, body language. That is what she was reporting on, and I thought it was very interesting.
All right, I'm no body language expert, and I could be wrong, but my novice reading is that there are at least 2 jurors, and perhaps as many as 4, who will not vote that Donald Trump is guilty, will vote not guilty on the evidence that was presented. Now, it's hard for all of us, including jurors, who've been instructed to keep their emotions in check, to do just that, right? Because you hear something and you react. And it seemed that a few of the male jurors that I was observing appeared ever so slightly annoyed and unimpressed when the state was putting on its case. So how did Cohen come off? Well, to me, like a well-rehearsed dunderhead. He explained away every unsavory action as motivated by his effort to, quote, protect Trump. Again, a dutiful, if misguided friend who just wanted to help his boss. And when he was asked direct questions, do you remember saying Trump was a misogynist, a dictator, so-and-so, and so on your podcast? Instead of just answering a simple yes, it was could be or sounds like something I might say. You know, that sort of careful phrasing makes him sound like a guy who's been through too many prep sessions. And when asked on cross if he was obsessed with Trump, Cohen responded, I don't know if I would describe it that way. But indeed, there was evidence that he had, in fact, used those words. In fact, his answers were purposely vague. Although to every human being on the planet, it's obvious that look, Cohen hates Trump now and he wants him in jail. Although he refused to answer that question directly as well. So he was often evasive today. Again, the sign of an over-prepared witness.
Yeah, all of these people want him in jail. That's precisely what they want. This guy completely hates him. And when it comes to her, like being able to read people, she's a lawyer. I mean, she's been in courtrooms before, I'm assuming. And so she knows. I mean, I kind of trust her judgment on that a little bit. Maybe not on everything, but on being able to read jurors, she kind of knows a thing or two about that. You know,
I know. I hope that she's not being overly optimistic. You know what I mean?
I don't think she would be, because she doesn't seem like an overly optimistic person to me. She's not like you.
Fair. Right.
Yeah.
She's not Miss Sunshine. I would not
at all
describe her that way.
Nope.
Curio23 says, last dad joke. My girlfriend said she was going to get a colonic. Turns out she is full of shit.
Oh my goodness, it's Dad Joke Wednesday.
It's Dad Joke Wednesday.
It really is.
All right, we need to get into all of the I put together so many videos which are related because of the whole Israel-Gaza conflict, and that is obviously it's still a massive crisis, right?
Still
and there's so many, still a thing, and there's so many like tangents and different stories and angles to talk about with respect to that war. And first of all, you need to see how insane, not that you didn't know, but like you need to see how insane some of the campus protester, the pro-Hamas protesters really are, and how prone to violence they are. So for example, this at the University of California, the office of the president at the University of California was attacked, that office. Not only was it vandalized, they released 500 cockroaches inside and then emptied a fire extinguisher into the interior. So they're getting like super, super destructive. And then they also say out loud, we want to escalate, escalate, escalate. This is our historical and spiritual duty. To not hold this as truth is to give up and accept defeat, hoping someone else will do what it takes to disrupt the flow of capital into the settler colonial project. We must bring the war home. I don't like that.
Well, I mean, I think that's precisely what Hamas wants. Is they want to bring the war here.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
and you said yesterday, I mean, like the reason that Israel, they will stand alone, but they shouldn't have to stand alone is because they're not fighting a war just for themselves.
Right.
They are literally fighting a war for the world.
Yeah.
And that is a big, big deal. And so I don't know.
And I'm not trying to be selfish, but I don't really care so much about other people. I care about my family and your family. I care about America. Not trying to be mean, but I care about America first. And I'm concerned because I think they're coming for America. So
well, they are very, very clear about that. In fact, that imam from Britain who's actually gone to jail for terror in the past, he talks about that in this next clip that you're going to see. They don't hide their intentions, you guys. They are very, very clear about them. And if you don't believe us, just listen to the words straight out of their mouths. Oh, first of all, I just wanted to show this screenshot really quick. So remember how we talked yesterday about Kamala saying you need to kick the effing door down?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh my God, she cussed. So all of the protesters are using that. They are using that clip and they're putting the sound of it over their encampment videos.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, she's green lighting what they're doing.
That's just fantastic. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh my God.
Great. What a role model she is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, back to the Imam. I think his last name is like Chowdhury or something like that.
We are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now, I hope that can come in a very peaceful way. I hope that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed. God. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, if the Muslims have authority and they have the ability to remove oppression, they must remove the oppression. So we believe man-made law is oppression because they are implementing non-Islamic law, violating their own sanctity. So, if we are in a position of power and authority, we are obliged to take that authority, with the minimum force and to implement the Sharia, certainly. So, this will be the case one day in Britain.
And when you talk about jihad, you're not talking about spiritual striving. You're talking about military jihad.
No, I think there are two types of jihad in which people are engaging in today. One is the jihad of the word, and the other is jihad of the sword. So in Britain, we are engaged in the jihad of the word. And, it's as important to remove the ideological foundation and, if you like, the pillars of Western civilization, like democracy and freedom and secularism, and to expose them and to bring back people to worshipping the one true Lord, which is Allah.
What do you think the timetable is for implementing Sharia in Great Britain? Do you feel like you're getting close?
I would point towards, Tunisia and Egypt and these countries to show you how quickly things can change. It could be in a year or 5 years where people could be, rejecting the kind of liberal democracy. They're unhappy because, the basic needs are not being met. They're looking for alternatives. And, revolutions happen very quickly. So, I don't know how quickly the Sharia will come. Perhaps in 5 years, perhaps in 10 years. Demographically speaking, even within the next 15 or 20 years, Islam could be, the major religion of countries like Britain and Belgium and France and these other European nations. Because
yeah, it's just, 15, 20 years. Just seems, it's fine, right? They want to implement the Sharia. I mean, he hopes there's no bloodshed. I mean, he hopes there's...
Fingers crossed.
Good luck. Good luck.
God.
But it's just hopes. But that's the goal, is to implement the Sharia. Do people know what that is? Honestly.
I know who could answer that is the women of Afghanistan who were going to school and who had at least some freedoms before Joe Biden pulled us out in the most reckless, disastrous way possible. And now women in Afghanistan
are screwed.
They are completely screwed.
Completely screwed. Yeah, and that's the party of women. Well, they can't define what a woman is. But they're the party of women. Yeah, right. My ass. I mean, this is the guy who completely wrecked Title IX, doesn't give a crap about women, as evidenced by what Mock just said, and so many other things. Yeah, where are the feminists? Where are the feminists? And then all this Sharia crap. Seriously. Is this what you want, feminists? Because you're
or pro-Palestinian protesters? Right. This is what you're fighting for. Yeah, congrats.
All these women in these encampments who are like, oh yeah, bring on the Sharia. Is this what you want? Because I have no idea. And I know there's another video that you're going to show us.
That's what I was just leading to. And the reason that I brought up Afghanistan is because CNN, I cried when I watched this yesterday.
Me too.
It was so upsetting. And to think about how much Afghanistan has changed because of what Joe Biden did. This will absolutely break your heart. But just remember that when you see the campus protesters, this is the ultimate end of what they are fighting for. Okay. They're idiots and they don't understand that, but this is what they are fighting for.
The white bearded man who claims he's 55 years old comes to collect her. He's bought Parwana for 200,000 Afghanis, just over $2,000 US. Covered up, Parwana whimpers as her mother holds her. This is your bride. Please take care of her, says Parwana's father. Of course I will take care of her, replies the man. His large hands grab her small frame. Parwana tries to pull away. As he carries her only bag of belongings, she again resists, digging her heels into the dirt.
Oh my God.
But it's futile. The fate of this small, helpless child has been sealed. 9-year-old Litan and 4-year-old Zeton for $1,000 each.
My God.
Do you know why they're selling you? The journalist asked Zeton. Because we are a poor family and don't have any food to eat, she says. Are you scared? He asks. Yes, I am. Another family in Gore province borrowed money from their 70-year-old neighbour. Now he's demanding it back, but they have nothing to give, except their 10-year-old daughter, Magul. My daughter doesn't want to go and is crying all the time. I am so ashamed, he says. Terrified, she threatens to take her life. If they push me to marry the old man, I will kill myself. I don't want to leave my parents. Days later, she discovers the sale has been finalized.
Oh my God.
Another Afghan child sold into a life of misery.
I can't believe that was CNN.
I know, right?
Just, I can't believe that they actually reported that. So what's up with that? Like, wow. It's just, it's unbearable to watch that. This is what these broads want. This is what they want. Do they know? I mean, it's like this. I don't think they know. I think that there's so much ignorance out there that they just don't know.
Well, we've heard those man on the street interviews, right? Where they're like, what are you protesting? And they're like, free Hawaii. You know what I mean? Like they're absolute idiots.
Yeah. I mean, this is what you're protesting for. This is what you want. 4-year-old little girl.
That's why we say this isn't just Israel's fight. Okay. This is a world fight because Muslims have gazillions of kids and we don't. Like other religions do not. The birth rates are down for every other religion. They are multiplying like freaking roaches, and we hear the goal of the most radical among them. We hear the goal.
And you see what's happening.
As a surprise.
You see what's happening in the UK.
Yeah, it's bad.
It is bad there, you guys. They're coming for America. You can call us alarmists all you want. Go ahead and call me an alarmist, but it is what it is.
When you see, I mean,
the crap.
Britain used to be like, we used to be so simpatico when it comes to like culture and society. And now it's night and day. And look at how quickly it happened. You know what I mean? It's terrifying.
Yep.
It's terrifying. And the worry about it causes me wrinkles, which is why I use Genucel. This is one of my favorite products. This is the Ultra Retinol, but of course, this is their bread and butter product right now, the Gen 90, which is included in their top selling packages, which are on mega sale right now. So right now, for a limited time, you can get 70% off plus an additional 25% off. That's for their anniversary. They're celebrating. This is off their top selling packages. This is during their Mother's Day sale. So this will not last long. In fact, probably this is the last week for the sale. This is at Genucel.com/chicks. Genucel.com/chicks. Thank you. I thought I did a really good job with that.
It's fantastic with the wrinkles. Really good. Stellar job.
Douglas Murray. I have a huge crush on him, even though he's gay. And he would never have a crush back on me.
Yeah, I know. He is very crushable. He's
so crushable.
Because
even though he seems like a very compact person, he is a force. And like, there's something so intimidating about his brilliance and the accent, right? Like
he's a badass.
He's a complete badass.
He's a total badass. Yeah.
So he won an award recently, and he was giving an acceptance speech for the award. And he talked about this fight that Israel is engaged in right now.
I think often of the line from Deuteronomy when God says, I've set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that you and your descendants might live. When I think of the seventh now, I don't only think of the victims. I think of the extraordinary heroes. Life has to be fought for, and it has to be cherished. And what Israel has been up against is not just a people of death, but a cult of death. A cult which wishes to annihilate an entire race, and which, after dealing with that race, has made very clear what it wants to do with Christians, everyone in Britain, everyone in America, and everyone else next.
That's right.
They don't hide it at all. And we're merely stupid in not believing them. In the face of absolute death cults, in the face of people who most people in this country have no idea of, can't imagine what these people are capable of.
That's right.
I want to dedicate my acceptance of this award to the people of Israel who, in the face of death, choose life.
So
I love that.
I just love him.
much. I know I do too. He's such a brilliant man. Strong. You know, just like principled, brilliant man. Like,
and I want all my bedtime stories to be read by him.
Right.
All of them.
Him and BB. BB's got that voice too. It's like that buttery voice. Yeah. But I mean, there's just not a lot of, it's so hard to find grounded, principled people who don't waver, you know? It's hard to find.
Yeah. He's fantastic. Yeah. Teresa Raimundo, thank you. Teresa says, make no mistake, alarms help to wake people up. Glad to be back home and hearing you ladies live. Hello, Teresa.
Hello. Hello.
Jake Sullivan had a back and forth with an Al Jazeera reporter who was trying to question him about the fact that the stance, and we played his stance yesterday, the administration's stance, that there is no genocide taking place at the hands of Israel in Gaza. That is the official White House position, and it is the right position. So some Al Jazeera reporter got into a big back and forth with Jake Sullivan about it. I thought, and I don't like to give credit to this administration for anything, but I thought he handled her very, very well, and it gets a little tense, and he was not having it.
Thank you. You said at the start of this that you don't believe what's happening in Gaza is genocide. What criterion are you using?
We're using the internationally accepted term for genocide, which includes a focus on intent. And it's not just me standing here at this podium. In the context of this International Court of Justice case at The Hague, the United States actually made a presentation backed up by legal analysis, which I would invite you to read because it lays out all of those criteria.
Francesca Albanese, the Special UN Rapporteur on Human Rights in Palestine, presented one in March. She presented it in Geneva. The three criterion she used, citing international law, 3 acts: Israel's intent to destroy national, ethnic, racial, or religious groups, serious bodily or mental harm to a group, inflicting on a group conditions of life calculated to bring physical destruction in whole or in part within imposing measures intended to prevent birth within the group, process of erasure of the native Palestinians. So those 3 things are happening. How can you say genocide's not being committed?
As I just told you, I think the best way for me to answer that question is actually to ask you to look at the laydown that we gave. Which
are you saying this isn't happening?
I'm sorry. I thought you asked me how I can say it. I'm saying I'd like you to look at the United States'
I'm asking you saying this isn't happening.
Do you mind if I finish answering your question before you interrupt?
Are you saying that she's a liar?
The United States has laid down at the International Court of Justice in writing, in detail, its position on this issue, and I'd ask you to read it. Thank you.
Do you? Boom. I mean, he's right.
So that biatch also wants Sharia law, doesn't she?
I guess so.
Guess she wants that. God, what an annoying cow. I mean, and seriously, she just pushes and pushes and pushes. It's not a genocide.
Like, we get it, woman. You think it's a genocide. You're asking how he can say it's not, and he is answering your question.
God.
Sit down, like harder than you already are.
You just can see the people who are just so, okay, is that, all right, so then go live there. Go hang, seriously. I don't have a lot of tolerance for these people. I just don't. It's like you can really tell what side they're on.
It's
not the
vile.
It's not the good side.
No, it's not the right side.
No.
Jamaal Bowman participated in a primary debate with his opponents yesterday and was asked about the chant, which he has defended before, that a lot of campus protesters use, which of course is "From the River to the Sea," which has long been known to be a literal call for genocide of the Jews in Israel, because it is an actual physical description of what they want, right? From the river to the sea, they want all that land for themselves. And what does that mean? The annihilation of an entire race of people. So I don't know how you deny it. And yet here is Jamaal Bowman talking about that very phrase.
Consider the phrase "from the river to the sea" hate speech and or advocating for the eradication of the state of Israel.
Congressman Bowman, let's get your take.
I know some do, others don't. I do not.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then. So you made that really clear.
Okay. Some do, and I don't.
I mean,
you know where you stand then. There you go.
Then what is it? What does it mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. What do you think it is? If
like
it's
how
not,
else what do those words actually mean? If not that, if not what they actually mean, then what do they mean?
Right. What is it? Exactly. I don't know. That would be a great follow-up question. Why don't people ask a follow-up question?
That's always the question, right? Why don't they?
Yeah.
Justice Sam Alito gave the commencement address at Franciscan University, and he warned the students about the threat to freedom of speech on campuses. And I thought that was actually pretty powerful. Here he is in just a little clip of his speech.
This beautiful campus, troubled waters are slamming against some of our most fundamental principles. Support for freedom of speech is declining dangerously, especially where it should find broadest and widest acceptance. In a book called The Idea of the University, St. John Henry Newman saw the university as a place for reasoned debate. Today, very few colleges live up to that ideal. This place is one of the few that does, and you are very fortunate to have had that experience.
What university was that?
Franciscan. I don't know where that is. I should look that up really quick because I am not.
So do they allow? So they, I'm assuming because he says they're living up to debate that they allow conservatives on campus, and then conservatives. I'm serious. I'm asking the question because if they actually live up to debate, then that means that they allow conservatives to speak on campus as well as liberals, because not many people do that. So I don't know much about this campus.
No, they're in Steubenville, Ohio, and it's a private.
Does anybody know about
4-year
Catholic? It's in Ohio. That's what Deborah says. Catholic school. Okay,
and it's small, 3,600 students.
Just because it's Catholic, it means nothing to me. Just because it's Christian, that means nothing to me. There are a lot of Christian/Catholic schools that are crap, and they're woke. There's a lot of them these days. I mean, a lot. We see that. I mean, Notre Dame had Obama speak at it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean anything if it's Christian or Catholic. That's why I'm wondering, like, if they're still having just liberals speak at their campuses and or just, having woke ideology be, the prevalent culture, then it doesn't mean, or if they have 98% liberal professors on campus, then they suck. And there's not a good debate happening there. And there's not a lot of college campuses where you got 50-50 in your professors. Not a lot. I mean, it's most.
I would bet that Sam Alito did his homework on that, and then he wouldn't say that at a university that he doesn't believe it to be true.
Okay, well, hopefully they're walking the walk.
Yeah,
I hope that's true.
But I love that. Now, in keeping with our earlier theme where we were showing you, here's what Sharia law is all about. Here is what it means to be very, very open to accepting refugees from Arab countries where it is predominantly Muslim. You are in for a world of trouble. And that's just a fact. It's not me just spouting off an opinion because I have like this anti-Muslim bent right now. And I am very open about the fact that I do.
Yeah,
it's a huge problem. Cathy Newman, who you may recall from such things as having a disastrous interview with Jordan Peterson back in the day, he absolutely mind spanked her, and it was glorious. So this was probably 7-8 months ago, I think, where she interviewed one of the European parliamentary members from Poland and was talking to him about how Poland had not accepted a single Muslim refugee. And aren't you ashamed, Poland, of not doing that? And the way that he responds to her, oh my God, you guys watch.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants. I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland, and we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. He doesn't give one single shit what you think about him. Wow.
Isn't it great?
What a concept. It's like not care. The number one job of our government is to keep us safe. They're not doing their job. It's like, be like Poland.
God, I love that.
There's a concept. Be like Poland. How about you not give a shit what people think about you? That's what I teach my kids. I teach my kids to not care what people think. Don't care what people think about you. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. I wish our government would do that.
Wasn't that amazing?
Even
though it was a while ago, it was some months ago, I still am just like, wow, that was
completely.
That's
awesome.
how you do. That's how you do.
That is how you do. I mean, it's the results speak for themselves.
Exactly. That's exactly right. All right, we got to close out the whole Israel-Gaza thing with some levity, okay, before we go on to our next topic. And there's no one better to do it than Lyle Culpepper. We've shown his stuff before. He has made a parody of the, do you remember those CDs that you used to be able to get from TV called like Hits Now or like Top 100? You remember? And it was always like it was basically like a mixtape of like for a CD, and I was obsessed with those because they always had like the very best songs. So he has made some new songs. You guys, I love him.
Big protest energy. Susan Sarandon presents Ceasefire Now. That's what I call music. Volume 10.7. 17 of Hamas's most explosive hits. Let's go. You could have all your favorite hits in one place from all your top Intifada superstars. Be a rebel and rock out to Doocy and the Blowfish. There's nothing I can do. I only want to blame the Jews. We'll take over your cruise. I only want to be with hits from Kanye West Bank, Miley Cyrus, and the Dave Martyrs Band. No Ceasefire Now mix would be complete without R. Kelly's remix to Resistance.
Remix to Resistance, where we target civilians, and we won't stop fighting till our mission defeats.
There's never been a protest collection like this before. Now on CD and cassette. To order Ceasefire Now, call the number on your screen or send check or money order to P.O. Box 107, the West is Next Boulevard, Doha, Qatar 90035. Don't wait. This feigned obsession with freeing Palestine won't last long, so call now.
Actually, though, I think it's going to last longer than.
Unfortunately, it probably will.
Yeah, exactly.
I freaking love him. Love it.
That was great.
Charity Inglis, thank you. Charity says, I want to wish my husband Bill happy 31st anniversary. You will always be my person. See you ladies in Indy.
That is so sweet.
Happy anniversary. And thank you, Jessica Maldonado, who says, I am in my final stretch before my C-section next week, Monday, for kiddo number 3.
Oh
Please
my
pray
gosh.
for me, you all. After 2 boys, this girl has been rough. Have a fabulous hump day, ladies.
A little girl. So fun.
That is awesome. What fun. A baby. Love it. Love it. All right. We had some Doocy time yesterday at the presser with KJP. And unfortunately, this clip I had, because you know how she is. Like when he asks a very specific question, she just goes.
She's very
on this
clear.
Endless.
She's very, very clear, you guys.
She is so ridiculous. And she says so many words to say nothing at all that I took a piece, like the main crux of her answer, which of course said nothing, and I sped it up like a lot because otherwise we would have fallen asleep trying to listen to her. So the very beginning of her answer is clear, and then she sounds like a chipmunk, and then the end of her answer is clear. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Because I liked his question.
Why do you think Americans are so down on President Biden right now?
What do you mean?
I know you don't like to talk about polls like the 5 of 6 swing states that he is losing right now to somebody who is a criminal defendant. But more broadly, it doesn't seem like anything you guys are doing is making him more popular. Why do you think that is?
So you mentioned a criminal defendant, your words, not mine. So I want to be super mindful about how I answer this question because obviously that criminal defendant is also in the race for 2024 election. So going to be super mindful there.
Super mindful.
I speak more broadly to what the American people are going through. Like we understand, we are sensitive enough and open-minded enough to understand that this is that not just this country but globally, people have had to deal with a pandemic and coming out of that pandemic. And we understand that even you think about gas prices and because of Putin's war, what that has occurred that led to gas prices increasing. And the president had a lot to deal with. A lot. And the president that took that very seriously and took action. The American Rescue Plan. No Republicans voted for that, but we ended up trying to work to get an economy that's fairer for all and make sure that we don't leave people behind and creating 15 million jobs and an unemployment rate that's under 4%. We understand that people are still feeling this. We get that. And we're not blind to that. That's why you hear the president pretty regularly announcing how he is going to lower costs for the American people, whether it's Big Pharma trying to lower healthcare costs, it's expanding ACA for those who truly need it, or it is making sure that we get rid of junk fees that cost Americans a lot of money every year. So look, we know it's going to take a little bit of time.
Oh my God.
He's almost done, I promise.
We're talking about the contrast that we see from GOP Republican congressional members who want to do the opposite of what the president is trying to get done. Cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. That is what they're talking about. Slashing taxes for billionaires and corporations. That's not what this president wants to do. He wants to make sure that we're building an economy from the bottom up, middle out. And again, we get it. We get that prices are too high for Americans, and that's what we're going to continue to do the work.
Right.
They're going to do the work, you guys.
They're doing the work, you guys. They're doing it. They're doing the work. Yeah. I 2 days ago, I just like to point out that Ashley Biden was trending on Twitter. Did you see that?
I did.
Did you guys see that was trending on Twitter? It's because Snopes they changed their whole Ashley Biden diary false thing. They changed that to true. Did you guys see that?
Well, it wasn't false. They had, it's not entirely sure. We're just not sure.
Right. Exactly. But they changed it, but it was changed. And so there was a huge thing trending on Twitter. I just thought it was interesting that nobody on the left was talking about that because let's just be real. If that was Ivanka Trump, that would be the top story everywhere. Right. I mean, there's just a double standard. I just feel there's a double standard and not many people are talking about that. Just putting that out there. So it's not entirely false that she had a diary and that her dad was in it. That's all. I'm just putting that out there. I just think it's interesting that not a lot of people are talking about that. And, he should ask about that. He should ask about that in the press room. Somebody needs to ask about that in the press room. That's all I'm saying. I would. If I were in there, I'd be like, I have a question.
And you would not be invited back.
I have a question. It's okay. It'd be worth it. Don't you think it'd be worth it? Some things are just worth it, Mock.
I know it. Peter Doocy was not satisfied with that windbag of an answer. And so he pushed forward.
Have you considered in the White House that some of President Biden's recent policy positions could be a turnoff to the people that used to like him?
So here, I would disagree with you there because a lot of the policies that the president is pushing forward are incredibly popular. They are.
Oh my God. They're popular among illegals and dead people and Democrat celebrities. That's where they're popular.
I love that his whole those two questions were hey, the polls are showing that you guys suck and nobody likes you. Are you changing up anything? Are you going to do anything about that? And her answer is essentially, nuh-uh. Everything's great. People love us. They love our policies.
Our policies are popular. Okay. Yeah, right.
Well, they may want to check with this example of someone who is not happy with their policies.
Nothing. I have now said that I am from my suburban perch with my rose garden and everything else. Now I'm totally gangster because for the first time in my life, I'm going to be voting for the felon. If they convict him, voting for him. If they shoot him off to space in one of those Falcon 9 rockets and install him at the space station like a satellite, voting for him. Do I need to throw up like suburban gang signs or take a picture with a coffee mug? Whatever I have to do, get a t-shirt, buy merch. I'm voting for Trump. I don't care what they do to him, what they convict him of. And if that makes me gangster, I finally get my street cred after all these years. What impact is it having? It's driving people like me. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't believe in criminals. But it's driving me to a place where I don't care what Trump says. I don't care what expletives he drops in the courtroom. I'm voting for him. Now,
I love her.
Right?
Yep.
She is gangster. And proud of it.
Okay, so take her and then take all the people who didn't do a video.
Yeah, exactly.
Who feel the same way, who maybe are not as boisterous, who are gonna, who are just fed up. They're just fed up with the economy. They're fed up with all of the bullshit trials. They're just fed up.
Yep. Extrapolate. I hope we can. And I hope that those people then actually go to the polls.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
You're so right. So right.
But speaking of polls, because the latest ones are not particularly favorable to Biden. And so that pollster that gets super, super animated on CNN sat down with Erin Burnett to make some sense of them.
We've already turned around. Look at the Michigan survey. For 65% of American people think they're in good shape economically. They think the nation's not in good shape, but they're personally in good shape. The polling data has been wrong all along.
It's just wrong.
How many, you guys do a poll at CNN, how many folks you have to call to get one response? The idea that we're in a situation where things are so bad, the folks that, we've created more jobs.
So he doesn't like the polls. He doesn't like what they're showing right now. Is he right or is it wishful thinking?
He loved the polls 4 years ago when they showed him ahead. These are the same polls now. But here's the thing. The polls can be right at this point. And then keep in mind, we still have 6 months until the election. Polls can change plenty. You go back over history. You look back since 1972. The average difference between the polls at this point and the final result, 6 points. The biggest difference was 15 points in 1988.
It's a huge swing.
When Dukakis was ahead.
And even on election day, polls can be off substantially, and people point that out. What's history show?
Yeah, talk about the battleground states. Look at the errors on election day. In the average battleground states, the polls are off 6 points since 1972. In 2020, they were off 5 points. So if we're talking about 1-2 point leads in these battleground states, the polls could be showing one thing, and then the other person could certainly win.
And that would show historically true.
Absolutely.
Because we know what people are going to say. Oh, who knows? Fraud, whatever. Look at history. It always happens.
It's not wrong. We saw polls in 2016, and everybody was like, Hillary's got this in the bag, and look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So just always take polls with a grain of salt, I guess is the message here.
I always do. But I also walk around in daily life and I talk to people and you can see what things cost, and you can generally tell what the economy's doing and what people are reacting to. And everything sucks right now. How could you look at Biden and be like, oh yeah, he's doing a great job? If you think he's doing a great job, raise your hand and punch yourself in the face. You are an idiot and you're a masochist. If you vote for this guy again, you are a colossal moron if you think that it would be a great idea to put this guy in office again. If not for the fact that he's first of all, he's done a terrible job, but then second, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. He's so freaking old and mentally deranged. He's never going to make it 4 more years. So
and then we have Kamala.
Yeah. You think Kamala's going to do a good job? You have problems. I can't help you. Just don't vote. If you are going to go vote for, just don't. Just stay home and let the rest of the adults in the room do the voting.
Remember the other day when we played Fareed Zachariah, and he was saying, you know what? We should use some of these Trump policies to secure the border. You guys remember that? Yeah. So it's just so interesting now because all of a sudden you're starting to hear Democrats actually admit out loud that some of the things that Trump did were the right move. And of course, we all who lived in the Trump world, who lived in great economic times during Trump's first couple of years before COVID hit, and we enjoyed the tax breaks, we enjoyed the prices, we enjoyed the low interest rates, we enjoyed all of that. You know, we get it. Like, we know that Trump's policies were the right ones. It's just so interesting now to see the shift, not just on the border, but check out what Biden tweeted way back in August. Looks like August 2nd of 2019. He bitched about Trump having the tariffs on trade with China. And he ripped on Trump, saying, yet more proof that Trump doesn't care about the farmers, workers, and consumers that are being crushed by his irresponsible tariff war with China. It's easy to act tough when someone else is feeling the pain. I will reverse his senseless policies. Fast forward to yesterday, a few moments later, and he just proposed a bunch of new tariffs.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I'm determined to ensure America leads the world in these industries. So I'm imposing a whole bunch of tariffs, 100% on electric vehicles.
This guy, it's like, and how did they explain this away?
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it was a terrible idea. I'm going to just completely reverse everything. Oh, wait, that was actually a really good idea that Trump had. I'm going to go ahead and do everything that Trump did and then take credit for it.
Right. That's the thing. Notice all these things happening right before the election.
Right before the election. Yeah. What a jerk.
Aaron Rodgers was on the latest Tucker Carlson episode. It's well over 2 hours. I have not watched the whole thing, but I did watch a couple clips. We'll share one very, very short one in here. Just a couple of things that I thought were interesting to note. Tucker is sick and tired of his own studio. And so I saw a clip where they're just interviewing at the dining room table because Tucker just is tired of being cooped up in his little studio. I also noticed that when they did a little tour of the kitchen, which is kind of cool, right? Seeing Tucker's like log cabin-y house up in Maine, and his kitchen is a mess. Like, it was a total mess, which I thought, I kind of love that. Like,
It's
it was
normal,
so real.
He's a normal person. Like my kitchen's always a mess too. It's like I'm like, can everybody clean up their crap? If you guys like walk through my kitchen at any given moment, it would be a normal person's kitchen. I hate it when everybody's like perfectly clean all the time on Instagram and wherever. And I'm like, who lives like this?
Nobody lives like that for real.
You know? Yeah.
I love that. It was just an interesting insight into how Tucker like lives his life, right?
Yep.
But the other interesting thing, of course, is that Aaron Rodgers is so incredibly chill. Like, he's very, very smart, so chill and relaxed, probably because he does a lot of shrooms and like a lot of hallucinogenics. That's his thing, whatever. Very, very smart. And I'm very much looking forward to listening to the entire thing. I did like the one comment that that Aaron Rodgers was talking about Tucker's interview with Putin, right? And you remember, if you watched that interview, that for the first 45 minutes, Putin gave an exhaustive history of the entire Russian country.
Ridiculous. Nobody
Out of
asked for
control.
that. Nobody wanted
Nobody
that.
asked for that.
No.
But Aaron made an interesting point about that, and Tucker's reply, hilarious. Listen.
I was just like, no, I'd love to see Joe Biden give an interview where he can speak on the history of the United States in the same way that Putin talked about the history of his country.
I'd love to see Biden do an interview where he shows how to operate a microwave, and I don't.
That is so great. Oh my God. I would too. That would be awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh my God. To see him do anything normal like that, because you know he can't do crap. Oh my God. So great.
But this is at the actual dining room table, the family dining room table of Tucker Carlson's family. This is where they eat every day. And so, yeah, it was so chill, the whole thing. I can't wait to watch it.
So log cabiny. I love all the wood. It's fantastic.
Super rustic.
Yeah, I love it. I love that stuff. Yeah.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken just went to the Ukraine, I guess to pal around with Zelensky and say, you're welcome for all the money that we keep giving you and all the weapons that we keep giving you. And because, Ukraine, it's like in dire straits. And that's why we are having to cover their pensions and having to pay, foot the bill for this entire war with Russia. They seem to be doing okay in the bar scene, because this is how Anthony Blinken spent his evening last night.
I don't think that's going to happen.
This is a bar in Kyiv. Seems like they're doing fine.
That's a bar in Kyiv.
Robert De Niro.
Yes, that's a bar.
You got to be
Ukraine.
freaking. I mean,
war torn.
That should enrage everybody,
right? That's where your money's going. So congrats.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I've seen other videos like that too, where the streets are like so nice and there's like all sorts of shops and everything like that. And their grocery stores are like super deluxe Whole Foods. Meantime, I got a shitty little Dollar General down the street. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to pay for their pensions, so pony up.
Exactly. Because I got a pension. Oh, wait, I don't have a pension. I don't. And they're talking about not having Social Security for me that I've paid into since I was 14. How about you suck it, Blinken? Seriously, it enrages me.
He got to perform, and that's what he really cares about. So
isn't that nice? He also gets a pension that I pay for.
Yeah,
I hope they all. Oh God. Just the rage.
Jesse Waters last night made fun of Robert De Niro. Hence, my name today is Robert D'Amaco. Robert De Niro was invited onto The View, and he could not control himself. He is just a crazy, angry old man. So when Jesse plays some of the clips of Robert De Niro on The View, they are muted in parts because Robert cannot control his potty mouth. And when it comes to Trump, he cannot help himself. He is just F-bomb left and right. But here is Jesse's take on the whole thing.
Robert De Niro, whose townhouse just got broken into by a convicted felon who Democrats keep letting out of jail, went on The View today and called Trump a fascist war criminal.
I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously, because you read about it historically in other countries that they didn't take the people seriously. I think they're Hitler, Mussolini, but they're fools and clowns. Well, and I hear it. There's some people. I mean, who does not think that this guy is going to do exactly what he says he's going to do?
Right.
He's done it already.
Americans are taking Trump seriously. That's why he's beating Biden in the polls. Americans just aren't taking De Niro seriously. Nobody thinks Trump's Mussolini. And let's be honest, most Democrats don't know who Mussolini is.
That's true.
They think Mussolini's an appetizer in an Italian joint. I thought when people get older, they find peace. When I'm De Niro's age, I hope to be basking in a sea of tranquility. Not De Niro. He's lost his mind.
And they might think that it's going to make their life better, or they just want to, excuse my French.
Oh my God, you can't even hear it.
It's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country.
Jeez. Wow. Oh my God.
Raging Bull. Kind of like the movie better.
Oh my gosh. No wonder his wife left him.
I know, right?
Good Lord. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then also we have a flashback because, Democrats are always like election integrity. And it's so wrong that Trump didn't accept the results of the election. That's like impeachable, blah, blah, blah. They are, of course, we've had a billion montage videos of Democrats denying results of elections. And I'd never seen this example. This was after Trump won. Keith Olbermann was on with Bill Maher.
Why?
And Keith Olbermann, I don't know. I
Why
have no
did he
idea.
have him on? Why?
I don't know. But they were talking about how Russia was basically, they invaded our election system. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to always point out to Democrats when they have the audacity to suggest how terrible it is that Trump didn't accept the results of the 2020 election.
Yeah.
When this is their attitude. I mean, this is full on cray.
When John Lewis said he was not a legitimate president, I assume you're on that page.
I am on that page because he's not a legitimate president.
I would agree with that, but he is the president. I mean, it's one of those you have to keep two thoughts in your head at the same time. We do have a president. Yes. We are still Americans. He is the American president. I agree. He didn't get there quite legitimately.
But here's the thing. I think we're underselling how the non-legitimately part of this works.
Oh, not me.
I
agree.
But I spoke to a group of Democrats and liberals last night in Florida, and half of them were, like this crowd, fired up and understanding. We were invaded, is what it boils down to, just because there was not blood on the streets.
Right.
If the Russians had come in with Cossacks and put him in, I think we would have had a different kind of reaction to it. That's the reaction we need now. What I saw last night was a lot of people hooting and hollering correctly and getting fired up and going, we're going to resist this in every way possible. And other people going, you really think it's that serious? Yes, I do think it's that serious.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the point, but it's the point of a war, other than to gain territory, is to put the guy you want in charge of somebody else's country.
Yeah.
And we're now only debating at this point, after the story in the New York Times yesterday, how much the Russians decided our election.
Oh my God.
Right?
So wait, it's okay for them to think it? It's not okay.
Yes.
I'm it makes my head hurt.
I know. That's one I'd never seen. So I thought I got to put that out there because dang.
I mean, how is it okay for them to think this stuff and then it's not okay? And then, okay. And then like if you and I say it, we go to jail. We get shut down. We have our platform removed. It's astounding to me.
It's always a double standard. Always a double standard.
Right.
BTK, thank you. BTK says Biden's chaos with one hand and crush with the other. Yeah. Brian Brumley, thank you. Brian says he wants to put 100% tariff on electric cars and then force you to buy one. Right? I mean, it's so absurd. What he's doing. Absurd. Mm-hmm. Michael Parsons, thank you. Michael says, hi, ladies. On yesterday's show, you referenced someone from the government who had admitted the true number of illegals in their country was 30 million. Can you direct me to that source? I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, it was a woman. It's a woman I saw in a video, and I can't remember what department she was from. It was some sort of Department of Immigration. And I'm going to have to go look for it.
I wonder
but it was a, I know
I don't think we ended up having time to show it.
We didn't show it, but it was a video that I know we had it in like it was one of our source files, Mock. But we can find it for you. But I know it was, I can't remember what the department was, but she was definitely from the federal government. And she said something about how the number is now like around 30 million.
Okay. You know what? I think I've got it.
Are you going to play it?
Yeah, we might as well, since they're asking.
Okay.
I don't want it to be like something
a lingering thing.
Are held to that we haven't.
There we go.
Yeah. Hang on, let me get it. Because I think it is this woman. I hope it is this woman.
I'll recognize her face. When you show it, I'll recognize it.
Here it is.
Morning, I'm Rosemary Jenks with the Immigration Accountability Project. As Senator Lee said, we estimate that there are upwards of 30 million non-citizens, so foreign-born who have not naturalized and are therefore ineligible to vote under our laws. The problem that we have now is that the Biden administration, there's a Biden executive order that orders all federal agencies to provide voter registration information to everyone they come in contact with. We also know that state election officials are not permitted to ask for proof of citizenship for applicants who fill out the federal form. So if you're a non-citizen in this country, whether you're an asylum seeker or a foreign student or whatever, if a government official hands you a voter registration form, you're going to think that you need to fill it out. Then you are going to be unlawfully registered to vote. If you vote, it is a deportable criminal offense. So I want to just do a little public service announcement here and say, if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, you are ineligible to vote. And if you vote, you are committing a criminal deportable offense. We need to pass the SAVE Act and secure our elections. Thank you.
Okay, so then I screwed up. She's not a governmental entity. She's probably an entity that's on the outside and trying to pass this SAVE Act. Like that's what she's trying to do. I don't know if she's a lobbyist or I don't know what that.
She said the organization that she was with at the very beginning. So after the show, you can rewind and you can look her up if you want.
Right. But she's doing a great service because she's trying to educate people on like how many people are in here that are not eligible to vote, but Democrats are going to try to pull a fast one on us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay. One last grouping before we get to DDs and our schlong today and like actual TikToks. We talked about the fact that Jen Psaki has this new book out and she was getting a lot of backlash because she tried to pretend that Joe Biden did not check his watch a whole bunch of times when fallen soldiers were coming back to Dover. Remember, you guys all remember the famous videos and photos.
Yep.
And she basically in her book denies that he did that despite video and photographic evidence and despite the testimony of the Gold Star families who were there to receive their family members. Mm-hmm. So one of those Gold Star dads was on Fox because he was mad when he heard about this part in the book and he had things to say about it.
I couldn't believe this. Her book just came out right before Mother's Day and the wounds have been reopened yet again from a talking puppet that had no clue what she was talking about. We were 25 yards away and sat there and watched in horror and disgust as he looked at his watch, at least the first 4 caskets that came off that plane. And I couldn't look at him after that. So I don't know if he looked at his watch again after the first 4, but that was his MO. Watch the casket go by, check my watch over and over and over again. Let me just.
So basically, she should get the Noam treatment, but she won't because she's a Democrat.
Yeah,
she'll get a pass,
and there were probably no puppies involved. So
right, exactly, no pup, exactly. It's just soldiers,
right?
You know?
It's just people.
It's just people, right? Exactly. So people won't be as outraged because it's not dogs. You know, that's what. This pisses me off. And so, and she's a Democrat, so people won't be half as outraged and they won't be giving her the line of questioning that Kristi Noem got. This is the thing, y'all. I get so pissed off about this.
One more double standard. How many have we racked up today?
Yeah. In so many ways, you know, and a lot of double standards here, a lot of them across the board.
Mayor Adams getting a lot of attention from something that he said yesterday. This falls in line. I don't know what's going on with New York because first we had Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, saying, well, there's a lot of Black inner city kids that don't know the word computer, right? Like there was that unfortunate incident that happened several days ago. Well, now we have another arguably inappropriate racist comment from Mayor Adams, who's talking about open jobs and how migrants, all these illegals, could potentially fill them because they're all good swimmers.
Your imagination for a moment. What? If we had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers?
What? I'm sorry.
And
what?
At the same time, we need lifeguards. And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard.
That actually happened.
What is he even saying? What is he saying? Wait, we got to back up. Whoop. So is he saying that people of a certain like heritage are good swimmers? Is that what he's saying?
Maybe. Well, let's give him.
I don't understand.
The benefit of the doubt for a second. Maybe he's under the mistaken impression that every illegal is coming through the Rio Grande and they're having to swim.
So he's saying that all these people are having to swim. And so they're just, because of that experience, they're just good swimmers. They're good swimmers.
They should all be lifeguards, you guys.
Holy crap.
Oh my God.
Holy crap. It's the stupidity. Wow.
It's always projection, you guys. It's always projection.
Make them lifeguards.
They're excellent swimmers. So
I can't.
This is real. This is real life. FYI. It's real.
Okay.
It's happening.
Mayor Adams. He's a mayor. That guy's a mayor.
Mm-hmm. He's like in charge of like one of the biggest cities in the country.
Weird.
So, sleep well.
Okay.
We also need to revisit the absolute shithole that we were all in during COVID. You guys remember, right? This is not so far removed that we forgot how we were all mistreated.
Some people forget. I think some people forget, but I like to remind people at every turn as often
then
as
you're
possible.
going to love this. You're going to love this because Governor Cuomo, former Governor Cuomo, was on with that Leanne why do I forget her name? She used to be over Planned Parenthood, and then she was like a talking head.
God,
the gynecologist that was always talking about COVID and wanting everybody to mask. You remember?
Yes, that evil biatch. Yes. I
remember how she had that weird voice affect where she would say after every sentence?
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys, you should look her up and just watch, because she doesn't talk in this particular clip, but when she talks, she always ends every sentence with an M. Like she always at the end of every single sentence. It's super weird. Hi.
I don't know why they just walked in here. I'm sorry. I honestly don't know why they're here. But anyways, keep going.
So anyway, I don't know if she has a podcast, if Cuomo has a podcast. I don't know even who's hosting this podcast. They're just on a split screen talking. And this guy, the guy who is responsible for so many grandparents dying because of how he managed COVID and nursing homes, this guy has the audacity to be saying that all of the things that people were going through during COVID, forced masking, businesses closing, restaurants not being able to be open because of all the 6-foot outdoor eating bullshit. You guys remember, like a lot of businesses shut down.
Right.
He is trying to play it off now like none of that was mandatory because he didn't have the power to enforce it.
Oh my gosh.
It makes me rage to listen to this.
If government were to now say, we just made a finding that there's a new virus and everyone should do X, Y, and Z, the amount of compliance with X, Y, and Z would be much, much lower than it was at the beginning of COVID because people do not trust the government.
Oh, you think?
Especially on this issue, the way they did at the beginning. And that would be a complicating factor, right? When you have people who just don't listen. Because government had no capacity to enforce any of this.
Oh my God.
You must wear a mask. And people wore masks in New York. But if they said, I'm not wearing a mask, there was nothing I could do about it. Oh my God. You must close your private business. I won't. Well, there was nothing I could really do about it. It was really all voluntary, and it was extraordinary when you think about it, that society acted with that uniformity voluntarily, because I had no enforcement capacity.
You are kidding me.
You have a reduced trust in government.
Oh my God.
I can't with this guy. I couldn't do it. Was voluntary? Tell that to the people who were like kicked out of the military.
Right. Or all the nurses or doctors who were forced to leave hospital jobs.
People who were basically fired from their jobs. This guy can suck it. I can't. Don't
talk about removing himself from his own actions,
from culpability. Yeah, he wants to totally like take all culpability off of his shoulders. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do it. You're not excused. No.
Nope.
Get to do it.
Mm-mm. Wow. No. What an a-hole, man. I saw that and I just knew you would rage. I was raging.
You're responsible. You're responsible for death. You're responsible for heartache. You're responsible for all sorts of like just the hellscape that was COVID. Own it.
Gosh. He's definitely not owning it. And Jordan Peterson had an interesting analogy to make about Nazi Germany and COVID, actually. Take a listen to this.
Read the history of Nazi Germany. They always think they're Schindler. They always think that they're the person who would have saved Anne Frank in the Netherlands. They never read history as a perpetrator. I wouldn't have done that. It's like, did you watch people during the pandemic?
In Canada, 30% of my neighbors were thrilled that they had the opportunity to inform on the people around them. Thrilled. They would have worn those goddamn masks for the rest of their life if the payoff would have been they could feel morally superior and informed.
Yep. How many people do you know that were like that disappointed you? I mean, I had family, many friends who I'm just not even close to anymore because they were such a colossal disappointment. Seriously. And I learned so much about people during that time, which was a blessing and a curse. But I mean, to this day, I was telling you in pre-show that I'll tell my daughter, I'm like, you're either an oak or a willow. What are you going to be? And during COVID, that's when I taught her that. I was just like, so many people are weak.
Yeah.
Don't be weak. And that's the thing, is that you learned who the weak people in your life were. Weak.
Yeah, he is not wrong at all.
No, he's not wrong. Yeah. And man, and some of those people really, like, you were surprised by who the ones that would point fingers. I was surprised. I was really just genuinely surprised by who some of those people turned out to be.
And then the evilness that you saw in people, even like the talking heads on TV, who would openly say, if you are unvaccinated, you shouldn't get to be in a hospital. You don't get a hospital bed if you're there was downright psycho, cruel, evil shit coming out of their faces.
Right. And I'll never forget that. Joe Biden was one of them.
Yeah,
our president was one of those people. I don't forget that.
Yeah. I mean, that was, oh man. I don't know if you guys heard, but Disney has canceled Tinkerbell. Did you see this? That Tinkerbell, they've cut her from meet and greets. They labeled her as a problematic character.
Why?
Well, that was my question, right? So I went to go research it, and it turns out because she promotes an unrealistic body image standard. Tinkerbell.
I don't understand.
She's itty bitty. She's
like in real life?
She's the person who plays Tinkerbell at the meet and greets is obviously a person, but I don't know if they thought that her boobs are too big and her waist is too. I have no idea, but they have canceled her from meet and greets because of the unrealistic body image that she promotes, and at the same time, they have this.
I know, right? Well, I mean, there's nothing unrealistic about that, right?
Nothing. This is fine.
I see no problem with this. I see no
problem with that.
I'm totally fine with this. You guys
This
okay
is
with this?
fine.
All the women in the audience are like, it's fine. We're totally fine with this. Everybody's fine.
This is completely fine.
This is completely realistic. Everybody's got one of these.
Okay, before we go to DD, one more fun thing to kind of get us out of like this heavy news stuff, and that is this audio has been used in multiple videos. So many people have acted this out. The audio is an instructional tutorial, if you will, on how to look at or how to engage a very attractive person. And so this is the funniest response I've ever seen, because this chick is so ridiculous. You guys, she's following the instructions to an absolute T, as you'll see.
Act when you see an attractive person. Make eye contact. Now look down, hold 1, 2, slowly look back, now look away. Soft smile, scratch your neck, lick your lips. Make eye contact. Now wink. Now with the other eye, now with both eyes. Now smolder. More fierce. Stick out the tip of your tongue. Now swallow really hard. Big deep breath. Eye contact. Now bite the tip of your finger. Now bite the middle of your finger. Now bite the base of your finger. Pull it out. Now subtly sniff your finger. Eye contact. Slowly start nodding yes. Yes. Now a little crazy in the eyes. Keep nodding, more crazy, and relax. Look back at them very quickly. Now look them up and down. Now lick your teeth and snap. How to act when you see an
I died.
We have to remake that. We do. The next time we're together, when we're in Indy, we're remaking that video together.
Oh my God.
If we can make it through that whole thing without dying laughing,
there's no way.
Somebody should buy
There's
it.
no way.
We should get a giant cookie for that. Seriously. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
Oh, Sherry Fox, thank you. Sherry says, I had to wait 2 weeks to see my new grandson have my temperature taken in order to see him. Yeah, we remember. Like, we remember the dumb, stupid stuff.
All the people that were alone that had to, like, that died alone.
Yeah. I remember when they looked at each other through windows.
Oh
That's
my
what they
God.
forced people to do for visitations.
Ridiculous.
God. Or funerals that were missed.
Right. Or people sitting 6 feet apart at funerals. Like that did anything.
My God, it was all so
my
stupid.
My daughter made state for swimming for the very first time in Indiana and didn't get to go. I'll never forget that. What a waste. Absolute waste. You should have gone.
She absolutely should have gone. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Grammy Karen, thank you. Grammy Karen on Locals sent a tip saying, I think you're off with Mayor Adams. I think he was using an example that if we needed a lifeguard, he wasn't saying that immigrants are good swimmers. Poor example, no question. I don't know. It sounded like he was saying, if we've got these immigrants that are good swimmers, we should put them in as lifeguards. And he made it sound like it was all of them. And that's the narrative that's out there, which I am fine with.
And really, I don't want a bunch of illegals being lifeguards.
Yeah, can we just not?
It's
I think that's a
maybe
bad
we
idea.
should send them back where they came from.
Back and to the left.
Back. Maybe we should hire citizens to be lifeguards.
There's an
a
idea.
thought. Yeah.
Here's an idea.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's get to your DD.
Okay, so first, before my DD, you guys need to subscribe to our podcast. Make sure you're putting our podcast in your pocket. Click the subscribe button. Make sure that you're taking us wherever you go, because sometimes you miss the show and you need to do that. I'm a Christian. I don't know if you guys know that. Every once in a while I mention that on the show, but I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. But I say the words. It's something that I have to take up with my creator, and I'm going to do that. It's on my own time. So anyways, I saw this video and it's just struck a chord with me. And I liked it. So I wanted to share it.
When a young Christian boy stabs his toe. When a
I just thought that was really apropos. He's a lot like I am. I don't know
It do
about you
be
guys.
like
Yeah.
that.
It do be
It
like
do.
that. It do. Mhm.
For like a mini, maybe possibly mini schlong today, there is a very interesting trend going around TikTok right now. I don't know who started it. I don't know where it came from, and for whatever reason, it is in my algorithm, all up in there, because I keep seeing these videos. The trend is that if you have saved the last voicemail that you got from your ex, you are now sharing it on TikTok and also dancing to it. Why? I don't know. But it's happening, and I'll give you a couple of examples.
I tried all day to talk to you about this, and you're just blowing me off. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you all this, and you still don't trust me. I'm sorry I went off on you. I don't even know what to do. Like, I'm doing everything I can to make...
Okay. I just think this is really dumb. When we listen, why does everything have to be public
and shared? And why do you
shared?
say that? Like, who saves that last, unless you're using it for court? Why would you save, like, what are you saving your ex's last voicemail for?
It is a little creepy that people do that. I mean, I guess maybe I would save it for a day or two and be like, okay, I'm reminiscing, and you're deleted.
But what if it's psycho?
Perhaps. I mean, I think because I'm trying to think back when we were, when we talked about doing this as our schlong, I was like, okay, what was the last time I broke up with a guy? That was probably like a good jillion years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I had to think back to the last relationship I had before my husband, and I broke up with somebody, and I can't imagine doing this. I mean, it's like it's everything because it's private. You know what I mean? Like
Not anymore.
This generation is so weird because everything is so public. And I think honestly, like they don't even date much anymore. Like we had a meeting yesterday where we were with our team and we got on the subject, I don't know how kids don't really even date much anymore. This is probably why. This is one of the reasons why, is because they're probably afraid that everything is so public and it's just so weird. And I mean, there's no true intimacy with people anymore because nothing is private. Everything is everybody's business. And that's weird. And this is a perfect example of that, is that they can't just have personal things, you know, everything has to be out there for the gram and for Facebook, and everybody has to know your business. Why does everybody have to know your business?
Well, and if you don't believe that it's a trend, I have more evidence for you.
Oh
a couple. And these are very, very, very popular videos. Like one of them, as you can see, 948,000 views, another 3.7 million. And that is just so far. Here is the one that has just under 1 million.
You too immature little bitch. Answer your phone. Keep blocking me. I'll just block you back, bitch. I don't give a fuck anymore. Fuck you. You're a piece of fucking shit. You know that, sweetheart? You're a piece of fucking shit.
Almost 1 million views.
Okay, well, that guy's a jerk.
That guy does not seem stable.
He doesn't seem stable at all. Yeah, I mean God.
I know.
I mean, that's, again, everything should be private, but still, that guy, I guess she's trying to shame him, which you're doing a pretty good job. It's a little weird with the dance, but
yeah, the dancing is what is so weird. Now, this is the one that has so many plays, this last one, because and maybe this is the one that kicked it off. I don't actually know what the original one of these is, but because this has so many views, maybe it's this one. This one's hard to hear for some reason. Isn't that the weirdest trend ever?
Maybe it's because I would say that most of my exes I am friends with.
Really?
So this is, yeah. I mean,
did you save any voicemails from your ex-husband?
No.
Why would you do that?
No, none from my ex-husband. I mean, I don't keep in touch with my ex-husband, but I can't imagine, I just can't imagine doing this with my ex-husband.
Right?
We weren't that way with each other. You know, it's so awful, you know? and honestly, all my ex-boyfriends, I like guys that I dated in high school and stuff. I'm still friends with them. I can't imagine them saying those sorts of things to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, leave it to TikTok to show off the very worst of humanity, right?
Right.
But there's also really good stuff on TikTok.
Okay.
Which we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we need to see some good stuff because, man.
I know. But first, it is Dad Joke Wednesday. Michael Parsons, thank you. Michael said, joke, why doesn't Mexico have an Olympic team? Because everyone who can run, jump, or swim is in the United States.
God. Oh, my gosh.
That sounds like a joke Maher Adams would tell.
Oh my gosh.
But you also found dad jokes, which there's a couple in this one video. So we will share these.
My wife told me to pick up 6 cans of Sprite at the grocery store. When I got home, I realized I'd picked 7 up. You're American when you go into the bathroom and out of the bathroom. But what are you when you're in the bathroom?
You guys know.
What? European.
These are such dad.
European.
Those are total dad jokes, you guys.
Total dad jokes.
So dad.
Total dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but when it comes to Asian women, they have some of the most beautiful hair.
Yeah, they do.
it's always so silky and
so silky. Mm-hmm.
I mean, just gorgeous. And so you're going to see an Asian woman showing off, like she just takes her hair out of like a ponytail or some sort of updo. And the way it just spills out in this beautiful, perfect way.
So
but
unfair.
Some Asian women do not have that luxury, as you'll also see in the same video. Look at this. Stunning.
Oh my God. It's so unfair.
And then...
oh, she's like, honestly, same. Honestly, that would be
so
me.
much.
If I were Asian, I'd be the second girl.
Same.
It would be me. I swear.
Now, a lot of people make fun of the fact that so many, especially young people, get their news from TikTok, which is kind of terrifying. But I thought this woman actually has a point here.
When people are like, "Oh, you get your news from TikTok." You get your news from the news?
I mean, fair.
I get my news from mostly from Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's always got the most breaking, up-to-date, breaking best news.
Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
It's true.
And occasionally I'll hop on over to Daily Mail.
Yeah. You guys, in all my life, I hope this happens to me at some point. I don't think it will, just because I want it to so much. But look at what happened to this girl.
Guys, I was on my way home from work tonight and I found a baby raccoon in the road. Oh my God. And now I'm outside trying to let him go and he won't get off of me.
How does this happen to people?
Hey guys, I can't keep you.
So
I mean,
I can't keep you, buddy. You seriously will not get off my shoulder.
Look at him.
How do you
partner in crime tonight?
I mean, where's his mama?
I can't keep you.
Well, I think you're keeping him now.
Oh my God. I want him.
I feel like that's going to happen to Mock. Like it is. It is like the raccoon distribution system, the universal raccoon distribution system, and it's going to happen at some point.
The RDS.
Yeah,
I would love that. I would love it. All right, two more, and they are both animal related because, of course, we love Knuckle Bump Farms and Emmanuel when he misbehaves.
Although our bull does try, he is not successful. But Emmanuel, Todd Lopez.
I love him.
His middle name is Todd.
Even though he's scary. I mean, like, emus scare me.
How does he know to just get right in the camera?
I mean,
smart choices.
Make good choices.
I still think he's a descendant of Satan.
Emmanuel.
But I'm not going to lie. He's kind of cute.
He is a little bit cute.
He's kind of cute.
And then we've shown this girl before. She is an animal transporter, which has got to be one of the greatest jobs of all time. And so she's very, very excited about this recent transport.
Someone pinch me for real, because this cannot be my life. I went to my friend's zoo and I was sitting there and she said, Felicia, do you think that you can take one of the 7-week-old babies over for to the other side of the zoo for a health check? I was like, yeah, absolutely. This is what she hands me.
What? Oh my God.
A leopard. A freaking leopard. This is 7 weeks old, by the way.
Oh my God.
She bad. She is so bad and I love her.
She's so sleepy.
So I'm not going to be bad because you're telling everybody that I'm bad. She's bad. She's really bad. She's a bad girl.
You'll hear her in a second too.
She thinks that she is full grown.
Oh my God.
I'm not. Like, I know I'm just going to the other side of the parking lot.
This would be me.
Oh.
That's a pretty cool life.
Right?
Yeah.
What? That's what you.
my nose. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
Oh my gosh.
You're pissed off. I can't even be that mad.
Oh, she's mad.
Oh my gosh. You know, it was so interesting. Like one of the things that Jerry Seinfeld said in that commencement address is back in the 80s and 90s, we were all wanting to have cool jobs. It wasn't about having things. So many kids are all about having things now.
Because they're used to having things, right?
Right. They're all about the things. And we weren't concerned about that. We were more about having cool jobs. And so when I see that girl, I think about that commencement speech. And I love that because she wants to have, she's like all about having that job. Because what a cool freaking job that is, you know?
Yeah.
And I love it. Things aren't crap. That's like, she's living the dream. You know?
Yeah. What an amazing, I mean, and she has handled the most amazing animals.
Right?
I mean, she's handled them all. I mean, what a treat, you know?
So cool. Yeah.
Oh, somebody was asking me to play the sleazy guy. Okay, I could
Oh,
do that because
no.
I didn't play Chris much.
Creepy
He's always
dude.
so funny, and he has a date, you guys, and so that's why this was a particular. I should have played that one. We can add one more, right? Wait, why is it not working? Maybe I can't add another. Let me try. Yes. Okay, I can. Hang on. I'll play you this one because this is a good one. I have developed a bit of affection for this guy. I've gotten over how creepy he is, and I just appreciate the humor of it now.
Yeah.
And so he really is so silly. All right. So this is the last one for today. Here we go.
Guess who's going on a date tonight? That's right. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a court date, but hey, I'll take it.
Oh my God.
And then messed around with my case logic, trying to get my Ace of Base CD out, and I guess I was
Ace of Base.
moving a little too fast. Which I guess is par for the course for me, I suppose.
Oh my God.
I guess the cop wanted to play matchmaker because now I'm being seen by a judge. So, Judge Agnes, here I come. And hopefully I can play my cards right. And there won't be any objections, and then I'll get an opportunity.
He's so creepy.
Approach the bench. And give it us.
The rose. The burgundy with
wait.
Wish me luck.
He's gonna say blessings. Blessings. It's the burgundy with the tan that like I can't. It's
Oh my God. So great.
God, he's so gross.
great.
Yeah, he's so gross.
Anyway, those are your talks for today. I told
Good
you it was going to be a
talks.
long show.
Good talks, really good talks. I have 2 dogs on the floor laying. You guys can't see them, but they're both laying next to me on the floor.
Oh, let me think. I have a couple of thank yous before I forget. Yes, because Via, I got the Starbucks gift card from Via for Mother's Day. Thank you so much, Via. And also, Susan Laux sent help for dog bills because she loves dogs, and she sent help for dogs. I mean, it's
sweet.
So sweet, Susan. Thank you so much, you guys.
So sweet.
Are the best. Absolutely the best.
So
Anyway.
nice. You guys bringing it in? We're bringing it in. Nice long show. Tomorrow's Thursday. We have a lot to look forward to. We're on the downhill slope. You guys, that guy does remind me of Paul Lynn too. LTC vet. That's who. Remember Paul Lynn?
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, Paul Lynn.
Yes. That's
Yes.
who it is.
Yes.
God, that is a throwback.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You
I
guys
haven't heard that name
have
forever.
a wonderful Wednesday. We will talk to you tomorrow.